So, what made you
Okay, well,
want
one
to
of my
be a
managers waving his
policeman
hand.
officer? Oh, damn it! You ruined my intro.
Oh, that's what I normally do, isn't it?
Well, obviously you don't because, well, not a lot because a lot of times we talk before we even start the show. But I
Well,
have
I
an
was still
intro line
talking.
ready.
Now I wanted to
Yeah,
talk while we rolled into it. I was going to talk, but you're over here waving at me like we're on a TV station from
uh,
way back in the 80s.
yeah. So let me ask that again.
Technology,
Let me ask that again. What made you want to be a policeman officer?
uh, nothing, officer.
So this is your first time watching this?
This is the first time I've ever seen this.
Okay.
You've told me about this movie. You talk about this movie a lot. I remember when you saw it when it came out. You saw it. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I barely even watched Shaun of the Dead. It took a long time to see that.
Right.
I wish I would have saw this. This is a very good movie.
Oh, I'm so glad you agree because this
This
is my
actually,
favorite out of the three.
you know what? I'm thinking it's my favorite now. Because see, I heard you say that. You said that last show, and I thought Hot Fuzz is your favorite out of the three. And then you
Yep.
said, "Oh, it kind of like a horror movie." And then I watched this because I assumed this was just '80s take on cop movies. That's the way it was portrayed. This is beyond a '80s or
Oh, it
'80s
is.
buddy cop. Yeah, it's beyond a buddy cop movie. It is a buddy cop movie, but it's almost like it's like Scream in it. It's like it's like a lot of horror movies. It's got like a little horror, but it's not like a horror. It's like more of a slasher
It has that slasher
movie.
feel to it, right?
Yeah, but they're the cops investigating, so none of them are like David Arquette. But
No, so yeah, so it's not like a David cut thing, but like you mentioned buddy movie. You know what's the only thing that doesn't make this a buddy movie? Their
what's that?
personality are not opposite of each other. If you think about it, like Angel and Butterman's, their personality, a lot of buddy cop movies, right? Their personality a lot
Yeah, they
don't match.
clash.
Yeah, they clash, but
Well,
this one doesn't.
this didn't really clash. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't clash, and I don't want it really to clash because the way the Butterman comes into the scene, he's kind of somebody just. All right, we'll go back to the question: what made you be a cop?
Yep.
My dad did it, and
Yes.
everybody's always done it. I mean, because the neat thing is they based it kind of on their culture. I mean, this is an English
Yes.
movie, and it's based on kind of the English culture, the small town culture. I
Yep.
mean,
True. The countryside
I
of
guess
England.
if you come from a small town, you kind of got this. Everybody's been there for hundreds of years.
Yep.
Everybody pretty much does what their parents do, or they move out.
Yes.
You know, like here where I come from, everybody's usually a farmer.
So they point about like everybody's plucking here. Who? Farmers and farmers' moms.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that. But I mean, the most of the people in that town did what they did because they even put it in there because it's a known thing like English last names. Most English
Yes.
last names are the jobs they do.
Yes.
You got Fish.
Thatcher.
Yeah.
Skin.
Well, you
Yep.
got Fisher,
Yes.
Thatcher, even Smith.
Yep.
They didn't have no Smiths in this movie, but they had
But
like the
like
Thatcher and all the names. Skinner,
the
Butcher.
the names play a really good part in this movie too. Like
But
the
it
way
also
they do
shows
it.
that this always shows this town was traditional and they didn't like outsiders.
Yes, and
And
they
the
don't
neat
like
thing
anything
is,
that mess up the flow of
I
the how
mean,
they run things.
I like now that we watched. This is actually the second movie in
Yeah.
the series, but we watched the other movies out of order.
Yep. Which it doesn't
But
matter because it's not like
it
in the
don't
same
matter.
universe.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, this one gets you to look in the background and listen to what the characters say a little bit more because now this is their
Yes.
style. Because when he comes to that town, there he sees that little poster. It says "Keep them out."
Oh,
Remember? Did you see that poster? It
I
looks
didn't
like
notice that
Scream.
poster.
As soon as I saw it,
Yeah.
it was like Scream, and I thought that was. I thought that I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, that's cool. That looks like Scream almost.
Yeah, I
And
like this movie a lot. I'm so
then
glad you
you
did too.
then you have those killers. The thing is, this movie though, when I was watching it, it reminded me of Scream, but you know what else? It reminded me of a video game,
Oh what?
Silent Hill.
Oh,
Did you
it
ever
has
play
that feel.
Silent
Yeah, I
Hill? I
had.
didn't play all the
Yes,
Silent Hills,
I didn't play
but the
all of
thing
them, but
is, I don't know if they based it on the video game, but the thing is, it's the whole town when you come back to the town. I don't know which I played. I played one on 360. I know there's several Silent Hills,
yeah.
but I played one on 360. You come back to the town. Turns out there's a conspiracy. All the townspeople are in this conspiracy, and
Yep.
they've been there for hundreds of years. Same thing with this people. There's a conspiracy. But the thing is, I figure there's going to be two killers.
Oh.
Well, I just assumed it because it always obviously points to James Bond,
Yep.
which there's another
Which I
James
want to
Bond,
play. Another James
not the
Bond in
same
this movie.
John, yeah,
Yep.
another James Bond,
Another James. It's
Timothy
awesome.
Dalton, which actually, yes, I liked him. I thought it was cool because I actually seen one of his movies. He'd probably be the first James Bond I ever saw in a theater.
In the 80s,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he was the
Yes,
first
me
James
too.
Bond.
Timothy Dalton. Yep.
I say the 80s.
Oh, you know
Was
what?
he the
But I
80s or
also saw
90s?
Sean Connery in the 80s.
But you never saw it at theater, did you? Because Sean
Didn't Timothy
Connery,
Dalton play James Bond, and then does Sean Connery come play another one?
no, Sean Connery was the first. He did it later on. I mean, but he wasn't official when he.
Hmm.
By our time, I mean, John. By my time, I'm sure Sean Connery was already done
Yeah,
because we
you're
had
right. I
Roger
see two.
Moore.
Yeah, Roger
We
Moore.
had
That's right.
Roger
Roger
Moore.
Moore and Timothy
But
Dalton.
I
I
never
saw.
got to see Roger Moore in the theater. I saw Roger Moore on HBO all the time.
Oh, okay.
He was the first James Bond I ever saw.
Oh, okay.
I never saw Sean Connery. And then I saw Timothy Dalton about took over maybe two movies that after I saw Roger Moore and then I saw Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
So Timothy Dalton was
Dude,
but he
Timothy
was on
Dalton
James
is
Bond.
so good in
He's
this
a great
movie.
villain. He's a
Man, he
great
is
villain.
so good.
Anything I've ever seen him in play a villain, he's usually
Yeah.
always good.
Yeah, he's always good.
He's even a villain in one of the Doctor Who's.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he
Oh,
actually
that's
makes it in the
cool.
doctor. He makes it in a lot of stuff. I mean, because he's an actor. If you say, "Hey, I got a job for you," he's like, "What's the job?" Acting. Oh, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
I
that.
mean, that's what he is. You know. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
surprised his last name's not Timothy Actor.
Yeah, dude, like because like the way that he portraying himself in the movie, right? You want to say like that's the main bad guy.
But the thing I think you're supposed to just say that's the bad guy.
Yeah,
But the problem is, I'm thinking it's so obvious that he's the bad guy, but instead of thinking he's not the bad guy, I thought he's probably him and somebody else.
right. But then you know what I really like
But
about
then
this
I was
movie?
surprised when it turned out it was
Yeah,
all the old town
when all the
people.
whole town like it, they even mentioned what they were
But
about
you
in the
do
beginning
you
too.
do kind of get a hint though that the police inspector is kind of a bad guy too.
Yeah, not the first
Because
time around.
a few times he'll say stuff and it kind of looks at just kind of he gives him that evil look like
Yeah.
it's not like he doesn't give him a look like you're just dumb or you're wrong. He gives him a look like you're in the way.
Oh, I didn't ever thought about Sergeant no Captain Butterman is the Inspector. That's what they called him.
Yeah,
I never
inspector.
suspected that. But
Chief
then
inspector.
even Danny was like that. You didn't suspect that either. Like Danny was also kind of in on it because he already knew.
Danny didn't know. I mean, Danny just let it go. He didn't care. But this whole police force was a bunch of morons.
Yeah, especially the other
You know,
sergeant.
none of them did. Well, plus the two detectives, they didn't want to investigate. They didn't want to investigate anything.
It's really funny because it's like an easy job, right? So I actually did a lot more research on this, and I watched one of the videos where like an English cop, right? He watches Hot Fuzz and all the cop scenes, and we talked about how good Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg is writing about realism, right?
Yeah.
And
Good
they
point.
did such a good work on this. When the cop watches it, right, he's like, dude, 85% of this movie is legit. So I watch all the scenes he's talking about. Remember in the beginning when they introduced Nicholas Angel, which is one of my favorite scenes, like they established his character really well.
Well,
right?
they actually make him look because usually Simon Pegg. I wouldn't think of Simon Pegg as a cop.
Yep.
Can't see him as a cop. And this Simon's a cop because he had his hair cut just right.
Yep.
I mean, he ran. He did everything. It's like, yeah, I could see him as a top cop.
Yeah, because he lost weight just to fit into this role.
Yeah, but I never see him as a fat guy. I always just see him as a skinny guy.
Well, not skinny, but not like
Skinny,
Shaun of the
geeky guy
Dead,
like
right?
that.
Like he's not Simon Pegg from Shaun of the Dead. He's
No,
actually
he
like
was.
a legit
No, he
cop.
was
Yeah.
pretty good. He was. I was thinking this is actually him and Nick Frost did a really good job in this movie.
Yeah, in this movie, that's why I like this
As far
one
as
the
acting
best.
goes, I was like, yeah, I was impressed. Plus, the camera work was really good too.
Yeah, the camera work was really good. So let me talk about the names thing. I was getting back to that. So
Okay.
when they interview a lot of the cops and they go on ride-alongs and things like that, right? They actually came across like most of the cops they came across is either named Andrew, Andy, Nicholas, or Nick. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why they
Yeah.
had that joke. Like, you know why they call them the Andys? Because they both named Andrew. And like they actually named his character Nicholas Angel from the sound supervisor from the first movie, and this one, his name is Nick Angel. If you look at the thing, so I thought that was pretty funny, right? And the cop who watched this movie, when he watched the intro scene, the only thing they had wrong was the other sergeant promoting the other sergeant. Like, oh, we're gonna make you sergeant. Like usually
Yeah.
they don't do it
Well-
that way, but he understand like to make that scene work, right? They can't do all the logistics stuff.
The thing is, it's a hint of comedy too. It wasn't a serious cop movie.
No, it was not a
And
serious
if
cop
anybody,
movie.
if you're gonna sit there and watch it's a serious cop movie, then it just
No.
wouldn't be. If it was, yeah, you won't. It wouldn't be a good
It's
movie.
kind of like when you talk about like a buddy cop movies, it's a serious.
Because I'll be
cop
the whole
movie.
front is like, we're gonna move you, so I'll let you talk to the inspector. Do you really want to talk to the inspector? We'll talk to the inspector, and then
Oh.
bring the inspector. He goes, well, I want to go above you, so we're gonna talk to the head inspector. You really want to talk to the head inspector, which is
inspector.
Bill Knightley, by the way.
Yes, do you know he did the eye twitch thing? He wanted to do that for that scene. Like, yes, I can. I'm the chief inspector. He did the
Yeah, but
eye
he
twitch
also,
like the.
but he also goes, I could make anybody disappear I want to.
That was way funny.
Can't
And
make me disappear.
when who's that guy who played the inspector? I forgot his name now because he's not known to us, but he's a he was in the other guys and he was in a movie
It
Jackie
was Steve Cook. Yeah,
Steve
Steve
Coogan,
Coogan.
yeah. When he
Is it Steve
when a
Coogan or?
yeah, Steve Coogan, you got it right.
Yeah.
When a cop was watching the scene, right, he was laughing because the inspector, typically from his experience, right, the inspector doesn't know what's going on with the cops, right? So that's why he laughed. Was like, "Oh, how's Janine?" I'm like, Janine haven't and I haven't been together for a year," and he said like, "Oh, that's very true. A lot of times, inspector doesn't know what the hell is going on, so he gets that joke. And then like they did it on purpose,
Yeah.
right? And then when the chief inspector comes in, he's like, "Yeah, they got that right." Like as soon as the chief inspector appears, right, everybody stands up. So that was pretty good. I was like, "Oh, I
Well,
didn't
that's
know
kind
that."
of normal in America.
Yeah, in America too,
too.
but
We
the
don't have
higher ranking
inspectors,
officer,
so
yeah.
I mean, that's just, I reckon anybody comes in, you're supposed to stand out. So it's
I
just,
do like having Martin Freeman in their movies a
isn't
lot.
that funny? That's Parker
Yeah,
Free. Yeah, I did. I forgot that
he's
was
like,
Mark.
"Oh yeah," when he's like,
You
"You
know, there's actually a lot of cameos in here because you know when he goes to the crime scene, which I love when he goes to that crime scene.
which
That's
crime
Kate
scene?"
Blanchett. When he goes to the crime scene, and all
Oh
the people
yes,
wearing the
Janine
CSI,
is played by Kate Blanchett. Oh,
but you're looking at it, they never show her face. So I'm sitting there,
no,
I'm thinking, I'm sure I'm supposed to know this actress, but you
really?
don't see the eyes.
Yeah, you only
You're
can see
sitting
the
there,
eyes.
I didn't know who it was. I had to read to see who it was.
Oh, okay, yeah, I had to.
But I kept sitting there thinking, this could be anybody.
This could be
But I was
anybody,
thinking,
but
I bet you this is, and then I don't like, of
someone
course, he looks at,
famous.
I love it though when he looks at the window, he goes, you do know this is broken from the inside, right?
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Huh?"
Everybody's wrong.
And like that scene.
Well, you also know Peter Jackson was in this
Yep,
too.
the person
Santa
of
Claus that
Santa.
stabs
Yeah,
her right in the head.
yeah. I forgot what.
How's
Yeah,
your
Santa.
how's your hand? It's still a little sore.
It's a little
A little
stiff.
stiff. A little stiff.
So when you were talking about the crime scene, right? Um, that was the first time I seen so much CSI people in the crime scene. Because in another TV show, it's like only like
Yeah,
4 or 5 of them.
or they got two. They usually have
Yeah,
ones.
like they
I think
got
at
two.
CSI, they usually it's only like two people.
Yeah,
And
but
they're
then
not even wearing the suits.
yeah, but then when the cop guy, he said like that's actually how it's supposed to be. Because everybody have to focus on an area, right? And you don't want someone else to contaminate your crime scene. So
Yeah.
I never knew that. Like, wow, this is a lot of CSI people. Because other shows and movies that we ever watched, like you said, you only see like 2 guys to work
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Plus, why would you want that on a movie? I mean,
That's true too.
that's a lot of money you're spending right there.
Yeah, I know. And then the other thing is like they don't focus on that this movie did was the amount of paperwork. They
Yeah,
did
well,
talk
I know
about that a
that
lot.
because you do know that's usually if there's a be because they got to write everything.
Yeah, they
instead,
gotta
in
write
case it go-
everything
in
down.
case something goes to court.
Yep.
Of
So
course,
that
he
was
carries
good.
his little notebook.
They emphasize the notepad. So I watched this movie in the theater with Valamir, right? And the first time is like, this is the most important tool you have in your life. I do use mine. Really show me. And when he showed that little cartoon thing,
Yeah, oh,
I
I
was
love that.
laughing so hard because I didn't expect that at all. Because I was like, oh, he does use it.
Yeah, that was pretty
That
cool. I
was the
like that.
funniest thing. Brilliant. No, you should see the other side.
Yeah, well,
that
we don't
was-
get to see the other side
That
though.
was so great. Oh, I'm so glad you died. Yeah, because I wrote that down too. Kate Blanchett is Janine, and Peter Jackson is the Santa guy, and of course Timothy Dalton. You're like, who doesn't know that stupid 007 in the movie? Oh, that was way funny. Oh, I do like the first scene that I did like the little montage. What, or can you call it a montage of him moving, transitioning from the cadet's house all the way to that little village? He's just holding his peacefully, riding on the train, and waiting for the
Yeah,
train.
I would say that. We could call that montage.
Yeah, right. Because it's
Yeah,
so
it
that
did
way they
take a
could
little-
play the inspector calling him like, "Oh, we got you a lovely cottage. Oh, you know what? The cottage is not ready yet, so we're gonna have you set you up in this hotel and everything."
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Which is funny because the hotel, every time he goes to his room, he has to walk past a swan statue.
Yes.
Which is, I don't know if that meant something or not, but
Oh, I don't know either. Cause it told you about the founders back in 1993,
Yeah.
right? The people's
Yeah.
names. I did like the pub scene when he goes.
that's the fountain, yeah.
Yeah, like how old are you? I mean, what's your birthday? February 22nd of February. What year? Every year. Out.
Yeah, or he tells the other kid, so you're
The
30
kid
something.
that looks like Harry Potter, like out.
It's funny though.
1969, you're 37.
Which is funny though, it's the bartenders, the one that let those kids come in and drink.
Yep.
But those bartenders are also part of the group that kills those kids.
Yes, but that I did understand when he said like if they were in here they won't be causing trouble out there for the greater good
Yeah.
like it's still like
Oh yeah, the
underage.
greater good.
Yep.
The greater good.
So did you know Nick Frost was playing a cop before you saw that scene? You did, right? Because you've seen the trailers before.
Yeah, I already had a clue that he was a cop.
Ah.
I didn't know he was going to be like related to the police
Oh, okay. Well, related to
chief
chief.
or whatever they call them, inspectors.
I did like the conversation they talk about their mom because like did the mom kill herself or was it a traffic collision?
He says this is traffic collision, but I think she killed herself. I don't know. I didn't understand that part either.
Yeah, they never talked deeply
But part
about
of
it.
that, but that has a lot to do with the his dad becoming crazy.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. Oh, did the dad kill her? Was it an accident? Was it outside?
Or maybe the mom killed herself.
Yeah. Well, anyways, they go around cleaning up town pretty good.
Yep. With a whole bunch of skeletons under that castle church looking
Yeah.
thing that they have
Yeah,
there.
that was a castle. Well, one's a church.
Yeah, one's
Remember
a
the
church.
church? That guy gets killed at the church, which I want to go point out when he gets killed at the church. That's what reminded me of Silent Hill too,
Oh,
because
because the
that thing
triangle
falls on
thing.
his
Yep.
head. Yep, he's got that triangle
Yeah,
head.
the
So,
pyramid head.
I
Yep.
was, but nobody makes that reference. Nobody goes, "Oh yeah, it was Silent Hill."
I
But
do
I'm
like the
thinking he
hidden
does.
puns they have. Hey, Tim Messenger, your number is up. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, they
there will
also
be a
said
pieces tomorrow.
but remember they also said you're open for a big. Somebody's going to get a big surprise at 3 o'clock.
Yes. Yep. You know
That guy
what?
got killed at 3 o'clock.
You know, this movie is a comedy, right? But at the same time, it could be viewed in a way that's not a comedy. I
Well,
think
it's
one of
not.
my favorite things from the other dumb sergeant is like, wait a minute. So are you telling me this is not an accident with that lady? She is stabbed into her chest.
Yeah, I know. They kept saying, "Oh, I remember that." They're like, "Oh yeah, oh, she fell on her shears." He goes, "I was there. I saw
Yeah.
it."
You say this is not an accident?
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't like. There's another scene that I really like, right? The cut scene where like, remember that which guy did they kill? They hit him on the head, right? And then Simon Pegg sits in the chair. That connected really well. Did you just notice that scene
I
when they
don't
hit
remember
that
which one.
guy? Remember the witch guy that built that mansion that they
Oh,
didn't like?
the mansion they didn't like. Yeah, they
So
blew it
they
up.
whacked him in the head, so it looked like when he fell, right? It's when Nicholas Angel sat in the chair at Danny's house. I
Oh,
love that cut so good. I use it in
oh
one of
yeah.
my
Okay,
videos.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Now.
that was
Yeah.
so good. I was like, man, I always remember that. Yeah. Oh, it's also so good. That I did. Oh, the one with the cop watching the movie, right? Remember that scene? He was writing all the stuff down about the guy driving fast because late for Romeo and Juliet play
Yeah.
that they were doing. He said like the cops like the cop who watched that movie, right? He does personally do that. They were trained to do that to like the psychology thing. They sometimes will write really fast on purpose or like cross some stuff out. So the guy is paying attention. Like, what are you writing down there? Like, what are you doing?
If you're guilty,
Yeah,
if you
if you're
feel
guilty, they could they could
if you feel
filter that out
guilty.
really easily. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Oh. And I like that, the whole time he's talking about the pad, right? The only time he didn't write stuff down when was that lady at the flower shop was talking to him of
Well,
all these important notes. Yeah,
because he wasn't being a
yeah,
cop
or
because he
yep,
wasn't a cop at the time. He went in
yeah,
there
and then
as a friend to
that
get
was
something
good
for it.
writing too. When he actually had to go get the pet, and that's when she gets stabbed. That was
Yeah.
no, Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. Their writing is so good. Even though this one took them 18 months to write, because with all the research and all the stuff.
Oh yeah.
that
I
goes
mean,
through.
that doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter.
Yeah, the writing is so good in this one.
This is a good movie. This
Like
is a good
they
movie.
had the same lady even speak in the same tone of voice, like, "Oh, no luck catching them swans." Then, well, it's just the one swan, really. And it plays back again, and she's the one who gave the clue, like, "No luck catching them killers." Then she said it in the same tone. They actually made her
Yeah.
say it in the same tone, so it flows. And like, was it Steve Merchant was also in this movie, but he was in Logan, but. Yeah, who played like was it Peter Ian Staker? Willie P.I. Staker, piss taker. And then that part was not the joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
he
was
actually
so great.
Yeah, she should show up.
Because that was right after everybody called him Angel. Or Angle. Hey, morning,
Angle.
Angle.
Everett kept Angle. Because that guy couldn't spell stuff, right?
Yeah, and like he was even writing like, can you describe the one he's about 2 feet tall, the orange bill like is a swan. That part was pretty funny. But even like when they were chasing the guy in that purple sweatsuit thing,
Oh
or
yeah,
to the
the
supermarket.
shoplifter.
So the cop watching that scene was pretty funny, right? He was talking about this scene like, okay, this actually is really realistic. Like, except for the Call Hood side, they probably just did that for the movie. But every chase scene doing the thing, right, is pretty accurate. But he said this himself, like, me personally, I would probably only chase him about 250 meters. If he can get away with me from me at that range, I probably let him go because he's thinking about like then even if I catch him right, I had to walk 250 meters back to the squad car.
Sounds like
And
an English. Sounds like an English cop.
yeah, so he said like, well, his partner is the one that actually does this kind of stuff, like, cause he's more fit, right? So he's like, for him, it's like if he can get away from me in that kind of range, he's gone. But my partner does that stuff, and he said jumping the fence stuff. Him actually did himself, which is actually pretty funny because they had it in the World's End and
Yeah, they jumped
Shaun
the
of the Dead.
fence.
They jumped the fence. It's like one of their
Which
favorite
this was
things.
funnier in this one with him jumping the fences and
Oh,
then
and then he
pushing Nick
just
Frost
crushed.
once and right into the deal. Yeah.
I did. I didn't expect that either when he ran into the fence the first time. Obviously the second time was really good, and I did like they call that guy Lurch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like,
One of the killers.
yeah, what did Nicholas Angel ask? Like, oh, are they big too? Oh, mom and the sister, same person.
Yeah.
Oh, I did like some of the hidden subtleties, like when that one of the girls who work at the the supermarket, Tina.
Yeah.
She also moonlights as a stripper at that thing, and then one of the Andes are like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Andes are so great.
It is horrible.
Yeah. Oh, and that part where they brought the older guy with the dog to translate at the even more countryside with
Oh,
the old dude
yeah.
with the heavy English
Yeah.
accent. When he's like, we don't need
The
this, but
dog's named
the dog that
Saxon.
we need, yeah. And
It's not the dog we need.
so it's so funny. It's like I didn't know, obviously I don't know these old country English accents, right? So when the cop watched that scene, he's like, oh, that's from West Yorkshire. Like immediately he's like, oh, that's from West Yorkshire.
Oh, I'm sure he's joking though.
Oh no, he said it pretty serious. He's like it's either West Yorkshire or you have to go like deeper into the country of England, like the outskirts of it.
Yeah, well,
Like
yeah, that's the thing. Almost everybody has a dialect in England, different type
yeah,
of dialect. Yeah, all the deals. But I doubt he would go, oh yeah, that's because I doubt they're sitting there going, hey, let's give him a Westshire. They're just making him talk like that.
oh,
Because you
it's
remember
probably because
Brad Pitt even did that.
he's probably familiar with
He
somebody
probably saw that,
yeah,
thought that was funny. Yeah, he just thought, oh, this is making a joke. It'd be like me and you talking. I go, oh yeah, that guy's from so and so, and you go,
oh
oh
yeah,
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 he
no,
said
yeah.
it for serious, and I'll be like, no, I'm not really serious.
Oh, no, that cop was serious because he was into it and he's like, okay, that's from what I am.
All cops sound like they're serious.
And then and I did like the
Well, they're
weapons they found.
cops.
Like, I'm assuming he has a
Yeah,
permit for this gun. They're like, oh yes, I do for this one.
just this one.
What do you mean for this one?
Yeah. And then he had that mine, that sea
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, the cop actually said like in the country places like that, he there's a lot of people in the old country folks, right? They actually dig up like World War II like weapons under the whatever dirt or whatever. Like they find stuff, and then someone he says one of his patrolmen, right? He didn't mention any names. He actually brought a live grenade from World War II into the station
Yeah.
because they find stuff like this, and then like they
Yeah.
don't know what to do. Oh, I thought that was pretty interesting though. That was pretty cool.
Probably a lot of the stuff made it back from the war.
Yeah, that's true too.
I
And he
mean, you
just
got to
been
remember, they
collecting
just
them.
got to go across the English Channel, and that's where they're fighting the Germans.
Yeah,
So,
like, oh, this is quite an extensive collection.
yeah, I figured that they had to find the weapons because I know that they were going to go get weapons. I know he loads up in the movie because I saw the trailer. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's where they're going to go get them from
Yeah, or from that old guy with
the
a
weapon
heavy
lockers.
accent.
Yeah. Well, they got it from their evidence room.
Yep. And you know what? I wrote down that cop movies are not an England thing. I had no idea. I didn't know so much America like buddy cop movies.
Yeah, because in those other countries, what are you going to do?
I have no idea. I mean, I really don't know.
Oh, they're going to blow their little whistle. Stop that guy. He stole so and so's leg.
This is probably one of the movies that has mystery, comedy, action, and
a
horror.
lot of those countries probably have crime, but they probably don't have crime
Like
like
buddy cop
America
movies,
does.
yeah. America.
They're not
does,
going to have
yeah.
crime. Well, they're not going to have crime like America has crime.
Yo, that's true.
Because you can't have guns in most of these countries.
You can't what in
You,
most of these
you
countries?
can't have guns in most of these countries unless you have like little hunting rifles.
Oh, you're talking about the bad guys. Okay.
Yeah, well, just basically anybody.
Well,
I mean,
does
you're gonna
this?
go hold. What are you gonna hold up in England with a shotgun
Well,
or a
Hong
hold?
Kong you do, but like a lot of times it's like when I was growing up, a lot of people would rob. Well, not a lot of people. People with guns would rob the jewelry stores, and
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
like a heist, you know.
But not
So
everybody has a gun
not
though.
everybody has a gun. You're right.
Yeah, and most of the cops don't even carry guns.
Oh yeah, you're right. Like when I saw the cop that was watching this movie, right? He said like sometimes him and his partner, one of them don't even have a gun.
Yeah,
Like
that's. I mean, carrying a gun for a cop in England's a newer thing.
yeah, because you're right. Oh, now I get the when
Yeah,
I remember the whistle joke. Yeah,
for the longest time, they didn't carry guns at all.
yeah, because
Now,
no one
every
thought
now and
to.
then they do because there's a
There's
big
other
influx of
yeah,
guns. Yeah, well, there's a big influx of guns going into all these countries now.
yeah. I forgot
I
about
mean,
that point.
because the biggest crime here in America is shipping guns to other countries now. So
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that about other countries because I'm so Americanized. You know, you would just think.
yeah,
I think
well,
like the rest of us, where everybody think it works the same way everywhere else,
plus,
but it
but
doesn't.
you gotta think also. Yeah, a lot of America, we got a lot of countries go. Oh, we got the biggest city. We have the biggest city here. We have the biggest city here. And I'm like, how many big cities you have in your country? One or two. In
Oh,
America, I mean, think of the state of Texas. We got like five big cities. They're none of them are the biggest cities in the world, but all of them are big
we have
cities.
5 here.
We got pretty. I think we got five. What we got? Fort Worth,
Oh, I didn't count Fort
Dallas.
Worth as one. Fort
Well, I
Worth,
mean,
Dallas,
we could
Austin,
cut that down.
Houston, right?
Yeah, and El Paso.
El Paso is a big one,
Yeah, El
but
Paso
El
is a
Paso
huge
is
one.
so far away that I didn't think like
Yeah, most people don't think of El
it
Paso, but
was
El
also like
Paso is
I don't even know how big El Paso is actually.
El Paso's pretty small compared to Dallas,
Oh, okay, that's
DFW,
what I was thinking too.
Houston, and San Antonio and Austin. Well, actually, I think El Paso's probably bigger than Austin. Austin's big now. Austin wasn't always a big city.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't. Yeah.
And then you got many cities just a little smaller. I mean, you got what Midland, Odessa. It's pretty
Oh,
big.
Odessa is pretty big. Yeah.
A lot of crime there. Lubbock's a decent size.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Corpus Christi is a decent size. But you got to think a lot of big cities because I mean we got of course New York's the biggest one of the biggest cities. You got New
Yeah.
York,
New
you
York,
got Los
Chicago.
Angeles, yeah, Chicago,
No, Dallas is the fourth now after those three.
yeah. Plus you got what you got all Georgia's got big cities. I mean, there's so many states. Our states, each state almost has a big city in it
Would you
now.
consider Arlington to be pretty big?
Yeah, I loop it into Dallas. I think also all that stuff is considered Dallas.
Oh, okay. So
I
I
mean, in
would.
Dallas, I remember when I lived up there, all everybody's like, "This is Dallas. This is Plano. This is this." I'm like, everybody in the state just looks at you and goes, "This is
This is
Dallas."
Dallas.
Yes,
Yeah. Even
Arlington
like,
is
even
Dallas.
the area I worked in. I mean, I live in
Yeah,
just called North
Plano
Dallas. You know.
to most people outside the city, Plano is Dallas.
Yep, just North Dallas. That's
There's
it.
no distinction. Richardson is Dallas. Garland is Dallas.
Wiley
When we
is
say
Dallas.
Dallas, we mean everything in
Dallas
that.
does.
That yeah, if we throw a rock over there, we're gonna hit something in Dallas.
Ah, awesome.
I know a lot of people always start look at you like they're so snooty. Where's this is Plano? I'm like,
Yeah,
whatever.
this is Willow Bend.
What?
This is Prosper. Like, no,
Yeah,
just all
this is
Dallas. You know, just make
whatever.
it
Yeah,
easier, okay?
yeah.
So, was there a scene that you don't like in this movie? I'm trying to think of one thing I didn't
Was
like in
there a
this
scene I
movie.
don't like?
This is hard. I think everything
No,
connected so well.
there's not a scene I had a problem with. No,
And this movie was
there's nothing.
2 hours,
I
right?
mean, there's more scenes I liked,
Oh, it's
more
2 hours.
jokes I liked. Yeah, there's more scenes I liked than there. Yeah, I didn't. There wasn't nothing I go, oh, this movie could have been without.
No, everything this movie had it exactly.
Yeah, I was fine with everything. I thought I liked all the characters. Everything was interested. I even liked the guy when he comes in. You know, the two guys that watch the gate, the desk sergeant.
Oh, the twins.
Yeah, you
Yes.
know, because one's like nobody tells me anything.
Nobody tells me
Because
nothing.
nobody could ever tell you apart from your brother, even though
Yeah.
you're like
The only
Dr.
thing that's
Jekyll,
like, yeah,
Dr.
the
Jekyll,
hair.
Mr.
Yeah,
Hyde. Yeah,
the
Dr.
hair.
Jekyll, Mr.
They're
Hyde.
both reading a lot too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Did you notice because they were talking about Tim Messenger, right? Like he always get his information wrong. Even in the beginning, Nicholas Angel when he was reading the paper from the pub, the first pub,
Yeah.
it says bypass with BI.
Well, he couldn't
P-A-S,
spell.
yeah.
Remember, they even talk about him. He
Yeah, he
can't
couldn't
spell.
spell. He spelled like, I guess he's
Well,
dyslexic.
because in a way though, he kind of narrows it down because Angel, when they goes, I'm trying to connect the crimes. He says all the crimes. He says one girl's got that crappy laugh. The other
Yes,
guy's,
the
I forgot, the
actress.
other guy's was the bad actor or something,
Yep.
running the deal. He said the other guy's got a horrible house,
Oh, yeah,
and
horrible house, even
and
though
that's
he's
the reason
rich.
all those people got killed.
Yep. They
Because
only killed
they're
him
like,
for that.
he's like, because why did you kill him? Oh, she had a horrible laugh. Why'd you kill her? Oh, he's a horrible actor. Why'd you kill him? Oh, he had that god awful house.
Half a
Why'd
heart.
you kill that lady? Because she was leaving. We
Yes,
can't
because
have
he was
that.
leaving. Oh.
Plus, I like it though, because they run that table around because it's like witches,
Yep.
There's all those evil people. Plus, by their name was NWA. The
Oh,
first thing
I
I
know.
saw when I saw the in that, I mean, because we're in America, because we know that. I mean, I'm
Yep.
sure the whole world knows what NWA is, because
Neighborhood
that's
Watch
F the
Association. I thought
police,
that was
yeah,
so funny.
F the police, and then the
Yes.
police. But anyways, they show up, and then of course the inspector shows up too. Kind
Yep.
of wonder if he was, because I kept looking at it, because I figured the inspector's got to show up because he's got to be in on this.
Yep.
Because he just kind of keeps the
But
police
then you know what?
department
Every
down.
time he
And
tells
then he
Nick,
shows up. But the neat thing is he shows up in a Victorian uniform.
yes.
In the
And
old
every
days.
time he talks to Angel, like, oh, make sure that they get the justice they deserve, and like
Yeah.
he's talking the truth every time.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he's saying that, like, I guess in a way he is the
come on.
person who's getting justice.
They
But
kill that guy dressed as like a statue.
oh, I know. That's so. You know what's really funny
So-
though? That guy is always in a room with the cameras, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that like they show all when they went around the station showing all these things looks kind of out of date, like the Wyatt room, the
Oh,
lockers,
everything's out
whatever.
of date because they don't want
Except
to
for that
change.
room,
Yeah, you're
the
right.
camera room is the most advanced thing in probably all of that town.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't want to move forward except for.
And like all of the people who are, I guess, the head witches, they are always carrying the walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
see
I remember.
Sergeant Nicholas Angel go in your shop? Look at his arse. Look at his horse. That's one of the coolest thing I saw. And then they did the John Woo thing when he when he rode into town with that horse,
Yeah.
the white
Saw the
dove.
feathers.
Yeah, the dove.
The birds.
So, that's John Woo.
But basically, if you jump and you're shooting too, that's
Yeah,
John Woo.
and you know what I also like in this movie? Nobody gets killed at the end. He just injured all of them. No, none of the people gets killed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Starting
that
with the
is
farmer,
weird.
that's really funny because when they go back into town, right? It's the farmer and his mom, which they talk about like everybody's packing the Andes. Your dad sells apples, Andy, and raspberries. You know, the more I talk about this movie, like, yeah, you can see why this is my favorite out of those three. Even though I told you last show, even though I love zombies, this is my favorite.
Yeah, this was just all around good.
Yeah, it is all around good.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought this movie would be. I would have thought I would have liked it better than Shaun of the Dead, but
Really?
I did. I thought it was pretty
No,
good.
this is the best one out of the whole Cornetto Trilogy.
Yeah, and this is the second one,
And it's the second one, yeah.
but it's really not a sequel nor a prequel. So
No,
I
it's
guess
just,
we can't.
the
So you
work
can't
that
really
they do.
you can't call it the second one. It's just call it the second one of something they looped together.
Yeah, they loop together. It's just the second
Just
in
because they ate
the
ice
line of
cream.
work together.
Yeah, just because they ate some ice cream.
Yep, Ice Cream United all. Because it was red Cornetto in the Shaun of
Unless
the Dead
you're-
for blood. This is the blue one, and then
Unless
the
you're lactose
Will's and it's
intolerant.
green. You know what? They make lactose-free ice cream now, which I want to
okay.
say. I'm going to make a TikTok video eventually. So let me tell
I
you the
thought you don't
story.
like TikTok. You always tell me, oh, I don't
I
like
know,
the little
but I need to
shits,
start
blah,
on
blah,
that,
blah.
right? So
Why? Why don't you just stay with YouTube?
I'll tell you why. in a
TikTok
second.
may be going away anyways.
Well, but that's still Instagram with a vertical video. So let me say this one thing. So, you know, we're in Texas. There's a whole bunch of HEB, okay? So I bought HEB ice cream. It's delicious. In my opinion, you don't have to agree, it's better than Bluebell.
You're gonna get deported tomorrow.
But HEB is still Texas, though. HEB ice cream to me is
but
it's better
I
than
don't
Bluebell. I just
know.
like that better because I don't know what it is.
Bluebell's
Right?
a Texas tradition, dude.
So you're
it's
saying
like-
HEB is not?
It's trying to be a Texas tradition.
It's trying to be. Like, where else
It's
do you
not
find
everywhere.
HEB
It's
in
not.
Texas?
Well, it's not everywhere in Texas. Remember, for the longest time, I remember a time when I said, "Hey, let's go to the HEB." When I was up there visiting, you're like, "What's an HEB?"
Yeah, I know they have it in Austin, but like not. But
They got it everywhere. They got one in
that
Everett,
now
Los
there's a
Angeles.
lot here now too. I'm about to be. I'm in the next year or so, I'll be within a vicinity of 3 HEB that's only 15 minutes away. But let me get to my story. So I was eating
Okay.
HEB ice cream, right? At the age I am now, sometimes it give me tummy trouble, but not bad.
Yeah. Makes you
So what I
fart.
figure is like, yeah. So I figure it's like it's probably the processed milk in there, right? So let me try this thing. Let me try lactose-free ice cream. So I ate this thing, Shane, and let me tell you this: regular ice cream, just like a pint, like one of those small pints. Or is it a quarter? I don't know. What is this size? You know what I'm talking about?
I
Like
don't
whatever that
know.
size is.
Why are you eating that much ice cream?
Because it's so delicious, okay? I
Let
can
me tell
find
you, let me tell you what your
maybe
problem
that's
is.
why. Yeah, it ain't
You're
that
eating
whole thing.
too much eating ice cream. But
Yeah.
God Almighty,
So let me tell you something. Because the ice cream is so good, I
you
ate the whole
deserve
thing,
a
okay?
stomach ache.
But oh, I'm so glad you tell me that. So that's the thing. So I do have portion control, right?
No,
Sometimes I
I
just
don't
eat
think
like
you do.
no. No. I'm just telling you. If I would, I could finish in 15 minutes. That's
Oh,
I'm starting
okay.
my joke.
Well,
If I
okay.
could, but I
Oh,
don't.
okay.
I just eat part of it and I leave it.
Well,
But then the lactose
I know
free
you
one.
though. Sometimes it's hard to tell a joke on this
Oh,
one
so
because you do it.
So 15 minutes, okay? Like if I want to, I'm gonna finish thing in 15 minutes. This quart pint, whatever,
Yeah.
15 minutes. But the lactose free one, it's just like sadness in a cup. It would take me 15 months to finish it, even if I tried. That's why I say 15 minutes because like I'm looking at this thing. I still have that lactose free ice cream that I probably
Well,
bought 2 months ago.
yeah. Well, let me explain this to you though. If you have to explain a joke, it must not be funny.
No, because you interrupted me by saying that it's not a joke. Because I was trying to make a joke like I could finish this in 15 minutes, but like
Yeah, but the
with the
problem is
lactose free,
the
it
sad
might
thing
take me
is knowing you.
15 months.
But the sad thing is knowing you would try to finish it. You would finish it faster than you probably finish it in a couple minutes if you could.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
not
that's
get
you.
if I don't get
Yeah, you
brain
would.
freeze, I could
Yes, you
do it in
would.
50 in
Yeah,
a
you
few
would.
minutes.
You
Yeah,
would ruin a food that's so great. You would eat it all, just
I would
swallow it like a
devour it
whole.
all, you know. And people look at my
And
size
go
now and like, where
and
you
then go
putting this
look at
stuff?
me. Look at that! I ate that whole taco in 1 second.
Oh
I'm
man,
like,
no, you would.
why?
Yeah,
Why? Yeah, I know you
like
would. But
I
I'm
don't
like,
know. You
I'm
heard.
sitting there, and I'm sitting there saying, why?
I don't know. You heard what
Why?
I said, but like,
Yeah, I
look at my
did.
size. Like, where's Lynn putting all this stuff? Don't worry about it.
Well, don't know. Yeah,
But
where is
like,
Lamb putting all? I know where
so
Lamb's putting all this stuff.
back in the toilet.
Exactly. Didn't really want to go all the way to it with
But
it, but
you know, it's really
it's going
funny,
straight
Shane.
on in and straight on out.
So I went to watch a movie today, right? I ordered a large popcorn, and you know,
Yeah.
at like AMC Cinema, like if you get ordered a large one, they give you a free refill, right? I don't know why
Really?
they do that. Yeah, only but the large one though, right? If you order
Okay.
medium and small, they don't give you
Yeah,
a free
okay.
refill. So in my
Because you know
mind,
that's the one you're getting ripped off on.
yeah, that's the one you probably get whipped off on. At the same time, at my age now, I can't finish that large popcorn. 20
Yeah.
years ago, no problem.
Yeah.
Because so my strategy now is like I bring out my own bucket. So that way when I get the popcorn at the thing, right, I pour it in and I could get the refill right away and share it with my kids. Now, even if I did that, I'm like, medium is my go-to. If I eat a medium, that's like a medium with no hot dog and nothing else. Like I'm just drinking water. It's just like you said, like yeah, like we were talking about the ice cream. Yeah, I could finish the whole pint if I wanted to, but then like you said, like if I should deserve the tummy trouble. I know that, and that's why I don't.
Yeah.
It's been a
Maybe
long
you
time for
shouldn't eat
me
that
to
much.
be like finish a pint. I probably could make three good servings out of 1 pint now. If I finish 1 pint, I bet that better be the only thing I'm eating that day. But I'm not. I'm gonna eat some other stuff. Like if
I
I'm
know you
eating that
are.
1 pint of ice cream, like I'm gonna
Yeah,
regret
so
this
I
later.
remember that a long time ago. We'd eat all kinds of stuff. You'd eat this like the ice cream, you'd eat a pizza and all this. Did you go, oh my stomach hurt? I don't know why. I guess I'm getting older. I'm thinking it's because you ate it like I mean, it's like we sat there and ate a whole cow at Saltgrass, dude. And then we went and ate a hot dog, and then we ate this. That's why you had stomach problems. It's not lactose intolerance of that. It's that you
Too
ate too
bad.
much.
Too bad you went with us when we went to Louisiana. I ate a whole seafood platter.
I went
And
with you, Louisiana once. Remember, we ate a whole bunch there too.
oh no, I'm not talking about the I'm not talking about the Shreveport. I
Yeah.
was talking about another trip where me, Joe, and Cody and a whole bunch of people went to a convention, right? And we obviously we ate a lot of like Cajun and seafood because that's what they're known for. So we had a good meal, and then we're driving back to our hotel, right? And then Joe was driving the van, and then we were
Yeah.
at the stoplight, and we see a Popeyes. I'm like, oh cool, there's a Popeyes chicken there. And this is what Joe said to me. He's like, oh, that's the first one. Like that's where Popeye originated. I'm like, and I look at him, and then Cody and I was already thinking the same thing. Like, you can't come to New Orleans, right? And then you tell me we're looking at the first Popeye's chicken, and then we're not gonna go. So we stopped, and we got chicken, but we
Was it?
were really full.
My question is, was it really the first one, or did he just tell you all that?
No, it's the first one.
Because
Yeah, I
okay,
have to check too.
because I would have said that too, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't have known I was right. I would have
yeah.
been like
Oh no.
everyone I see in Louisiana, I
Well,
would
you know
tell you
how
it's the first
Joe
one
is,
ever.
but like
Yeah,
Joe, yeah. So he was like,
no,
so
but you
when
know,
we ate there,
Joe could tell you a lie and get away with it.
yeah, that's not his thing.
I know it's not his thing.
Yeah,
That's why he could
yeah, yeah,
tell us a
yeah,
lie, and
yeah.
I wouldn't fact check the guy.
But
He'd
like,
go, "That's the first one." I'd be like, "Okay, cool.
but then at the
That's gotta
same
be then."
time, like the Popeyes doesn't close until like 2 or 3 in the morning because I think
Wow,
it's I think we were in the we were in Baton Rouge, so that's why. That's probably one of the
wow,
reasons why. And then that chicken, it tastes different than all the other Popeyes chicken we ever ate before.
really?
Yeah. It is, the seasoning is so much better. Even that was what Cody said the first time was like, "Whoa, this tastes better." And we're like, "Yeah, me too." And we were super stuffed from the seafood restaurant we just had like maybe an hour ago, and we're still eating in the hotel room.
Maybe I should have got Popeyes first.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't. Let me tell you something. I didn't do any research on where we were going. I'm like, hey, let's just stop and eat here.
Well, who does?
Yeah, I have that kind of time.
If you're traveling there, yeah, I understand. But if if you're just traveling with people, then you don't expect them to know.
Yeah, yeah. Joe knew. I was like, man.
Sometimes you just gotta be along for the ride.
I wonder if I asked Joe, like, hey, do you remember the look I gave you when you told me that? Like, like you did not just tell me that. I was just going to keep driving. Yeah, that was good. So I was talking about ice cream, right? They do eat a lot of ice cream even in this movie.
Yeah.
Remember the first day, like, yeah, this. Do you have any question? Yeah, I just have one question. Why is everybody eating cake? This is the way to punish Danny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like eating ice cream, like chunky monkey next one. I thought it was really funny. I thought that was kind of weird that they had one lady cop, right? And then they give her all these sexual innuendo phrases and puns throughout the whole movie. Like, oh, a little girl on girl action.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. She's actually a serious actor in a lot of stuff.
Is she really?
Yeah.
The
She
one
actually
that
played
played
a cop.
Doris?
Yeah, she actually played a cop in another show, Broadchurch. And I didn't realize that was the same actress. Is it Broadchurch? I think it was Broadchurch.
Was
And
her
she's
name
with
Doris in this movie? It was,
no,
right?
it was Doris. They call her Doris because that's what they used to call police women in
Oh,
England.
PC Doris Thatcher. Olivia
Yeah,
Colman.
she was in the last movie we saw. Olivia Colman.
Oh.
Wasn't she? Yes, I think she was in the last one. Because you asked me, do you know who that was? So I was like, I thought I got it confused with somebody else.
So she was in
Maybe I
Hot
did.
Fuzz. No, she was not in The World's End.
Oh,
No,
was she?
I think
Okay.
this is the one that you may have confused.
Okay, that's probably the one I'm confused. Okay, yeah. She was in a one with, but she's actually a cop woman with one of the Doctor Who's.
Oh, really? Huh.
And I thought, that looks interesting because it had Doctor Who. That's the only reason I watched it, looked at it. I was like, hey, I know that guy. He's Doctor Who. Or
Yeah, I'm
was
looking.
one of the doctors.
These are probably just her British movies, so I don't know. Oh, she's in Puss in Boots.
Yeah, most of all these actors, but a lot of these actors have been in American movies, but a lot of them I didn't recognize them.
Well, the
Probably
most famous one is probably just 007, obviously.
for us,
For us and Bill Knightley.
for older audience. Yeah, well, a lot of people in America probably not even remember who Bill Knightley is, you know?
Yeah, Bill Knightley and Martin Freeman. If you don't
No,
know who Martin Freeman is, you're not my friend.
if no, if you don't want if you don't know Martin, we know you don't watch the MCU.
Oh, not from the MCU. I
What's
don't.
he else? What
He's
else
in
is
Lord
he
of the
in?
Rings.
Oh,
Oh
I
my God,
forgot.
you're not my friend. You gotta go. You have
Okay.
got to go.
Okay. Well, I'll see you later then.
He is one of the hobbits. He's in all.
I know
Well,
he is one of the hobbits. Oh my God.
oh my gosh,
And
man.
hey, best one. I want to know. So you want to know a secret? You want to know a secret?
Okay.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings, but I thought you
Yeah, I
already
already
knew
told
that.
you that. I already knew that.
Hey, it's your fault that hey, you haven't introduced me to Lord of the Rings.
It's funny that I would have to
Again,
introduce you
but
to the
again,
Lord of the Rings.
why? It's a long movie. I haven't got around to watching it.
Eh.
Titanic's a long movie. I haven't got around to watching it. By the way,
Wait, you
this
haven't seen the Titanic?
no, I own it. The sad thing is I own the DVD. I thought,
Oh.
it's how long? I'm not gonna watch this.
So Hold on, let me think about this. So you never seen that Titanic, but you said you own the DVD. I remember owning
Yeah.
the VHS because it had to come in two tapes
Nope.
because the movie
Don't.
is so damn long.
Nope. 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 Don't have any of the VHSs where it's two VHS.
It's crazy. Hold on. Then we need to put that Titanic on because I would like to know what you think. So the first time I watched the
Man,
Titanic,
that's a
right?
long
It
movie.
is. So, but then we watched Interstellar and, or you haven't watched the Batman,
Interstellar was good.
but you haven't watched the Batman.
I'll probably watch the Batman. I love the Batman.
Now
That's
it
the
feels like,
Batman.
how long is the Titanic? It's shorter than Interstellar.
Is it?
Is it
No
3 hours?
way.
Hold on.
Is it really? Interstellar was long. I just thought it because of the material.
Let me see the
Well, let's
Titanic.
put it this way. I want to point out this in this movie though. Remember they do a play of Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
They're doing the Romeo and Juliet with from the movie
Yeah, Leo DiCaprio and Claire
with Leo
Danes.
DiCaprio.
Yep.
Here's the sad thing about that. I never saw that movie either, but I almost did. I watched part of it and
Oh,
it was
that's a good.
boring and turned it
That's
off.
actually pretty good.
I'm sure it is
Romeo and
good. I've
Juliet.
heard it's
Yeah.
good, but the person that told me it was good got bored of watching it and said, "Hey, let's turn it off. Let's go do something else." I was like, "Okay."
Interesting. I think I remember seeing that in a theater. Romeo and
I didn't
Juliet.
sit there. I got the soundtrack to it, and I thought the soundtrack's
Oh,
awesome
195. So yeah.
because they're playing the cardigan because they were singing the Cardigan song on it.
Yeah. You know, so it's very funny to talk about the Titanic, right? And you would think like, hey, you know the history of the Titanic, and then when you watch, like before I watched the movie, it's like, well, this is not gonna be any good, right? It's because how would they make a story like, dude, James Cameron can do it. James Cameron can write a
No,
movie about a
I really
mouse
couldn't.
getting trapped in a mouse trap, and that would make it interesting.
Oh, the Titanic would be an interesting story. I don't know why you would say that. I mean,
What do
it's
you
a
mean?
big giant ship where you can do all kinds of stuff on, and then it sinks, and it
Yeah.
took a long time for it to sink. So there's a lot of drama there. And
Oh,
plus,
not just the drama part,
he's
the
not the
build up
only
to it.
one to make a Titanic movie. There were
No,
several other Titanic movies, and I did play the video game, the Titanic video game.
there's a Titanic video game.
Yeah, you got to figure out why the ship is sinking. It's slowly sinking, and you're on this little spine. You run around the ship. Never
Are you
finished
being
the
serious
game.
right now? Because I have no idea.
I'm being 100% serious. I have the game. It was on the PC.
I was going to ask you, is it on a computer? Okay.
It was a
Wow.
computer game before I started playing 360 and all that. I used to play all the puzzle type solve the crime games on computer.
I do like those too, like those point and click ones, right? Where you had to
I
walk and then
love
search.
them.
Yeah, I love those too. I think
Oh,
my
I
first
love.
one was Day of the Tentacle.
Oh, I never heard of this one.
What?
It sounds like I've heard it. I never played it.
It's a sequel to Maniac Mansion.
Oh yeah, that's why it sounds familiar.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked Maniac Mansion too.
Yeah, Maniac Mansion is totally 80s, man. Day of the Tentacles, I want to say it's 92,
Yeah,
93.
I should know Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I didn't. I know I didn't play it.
one of my other favorite scenes in this movie that they did better than
Matter of
the
fact,
original.
was that Max's that made Sim? I
I
think they made
can't
about the same company
remember.
made Sim City. I bet you.
I can't remember.
All right, well, continue what you're saying. With your hands
One of my
pressed
favorite
together.
things that was even better than the original is the Michael Bay favorite shot, like that camera 360 around shot that he likes to do.
Yeah,
Michael Bay is famous for this, and then
yeah. Who did
they
this?
did that. No, they did that in this movie, Hot Fuzz.
Okay, when? What?
It was shoot, I can't remember the scene now,
I mean,
but
I'm
it's,
sure I know it, but
but
I
it's
think
both Simon Pegg and Nick Frost got up right, and then they did a camera spin around them.
yeah, where they spin around where they're in the town square
Yep,
fighting
the
all
town
those
square,
people.
yeah. And the other one is the helicopter overshot that Michael Bay
Oh
also
yeah,
likes
when
to do.
I like
yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
recognize that when the helicopter flies over. I'm like, I've seen
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah, because Michael Bay loves to do that in every single movie. Transformers, Bad Boys, The Island, everything.
I also like it when it ends. When he gets in that car, they go get that guy. Instead of having a regular police car, now they have a Subaru WRX.
Oh yes, and he's wearing the sun. Well, he's been wearing the sunglasses more.
Yeah, he
into,
started
like,
wearing the
right.
sunglasses after
I'll
he
tell you-
started busting everybody.
Yeah,
Plus, I did a lot of Bad Boys 2 references. Remember?
you know why they do Bad Boys
In,
too? So they,
in,
they,
in
they,
Point Blank.
they did ask Nick Frost to watch all these action movies, right?
Yeah, and he only
watched Bad Boys
2.
2. I haven't finished watching Point Break yet. Have you ever watched Point Break?
I have never watched Point Break.
Because it's directed by Catherine Bigelow.
But I can also go ahead and throw this on there. I don't think I've seen Bad Boys 2 either.
You never
Who's
seen
the-
Bad Boys 2?
Who's all in Bad Boys 2? I saw Bad Boys.
Bad Boys 2 is a lot better, actually. Except
Well,
that
miss-
the movie, like, my only complaint about Bad Boys 2 is it ran a bit tad long.
Who was in Bad Boys 2?
Same two people, Will
But
Smith
I
and
mean,
Will.
I'm talking about who's the villain, who
Oh,
else
the
was in
villain
it.
is actually a famous Cuban actor that we don't know. This is the first
Oh,
time we've
okay.
seen him in a movie.
But it had, is this the one with Tay Leone?
Tia Loney is the first one.
Okay, then I only seen the first one.
Yeah. That was the first time I saw Tia Leone in a movie,
Okay.
and I love her.
Okay. Okay. Well, cool.
I mean, back at that time when I saw Bad Boys, in the theater, like, oh, I like
Yeah.
Tia Leone, and like I like the chemistry that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence had
Oh
too.
yeah. I'm not saying it's not a bad movie. I just haven't got. There's a lot of movies I ain't seen, dude.
Oh, it's Bad Boys 2. Like
There's
when you watch,
tons of movies.
even in the first one, right? Obviously, they had to go by the script. By the time they get in the second one, it's kind of like, how do you write for Martin Lawrence and Will Smith? It's like, hey, you guys get in the car, this is a scene, and just say whatever comes to mind. A lot of times, it feels like that. Like, you need to watch Bad Boys 2. There's a part where they do a car chasing in a Ferrari. You'll probably laugh your
Didn't
ass
watch
off.
it. I've actually probably seen it, and I don't remember.
You should probably then you will remember the car chasing with the Ferrari when they with the semi truck where they're throwing
Well,
cars at them.
that's why I'm asking it. I think I
Yeah.
may have seen this one then,
Oh, okay.
because that sounds familiar now.
Yeah.
That's probably
Okay.
all I've seen is one and two. Then,
Yeah, one and two, and then there's four of them total, like current to
yeah,
date.
I'm pretty sure I didn't see. Who knows? I know I didn't see the fourth one.
I haven't seen the fourth one yet, but I will. Michael Shannon's in Bad Boys 2.
Is he?
He played a clan member. He had a small part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
that was the
I'll
first
have to
time
do
I
a
probably seen
refresher.
Michael Shannon. He wasn't a big actor
Yeah,
then.
the first time I saw Michael Shannon was in Pearl Harbor,
Yeah, I don't remember
where
Pearl
he
Harbor.
goes, where he's standing up on the airplane. And they're talking about girlfriends. He goes, "I had a girlfriend once." And they all stop because that's all I got to say. He goes, "That's pretty much." He just goes, "That's all."
I want to say like did we go see that in a theater together?
What, Pearl Harbor?
Pearl Harbor, yeah.
Didn't know you yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't watch it at the theater. I still lived here, and I remember buying it. I bought it on DVD, and it came with two discs.
Oh, it did.
Was the first time I ever had two discs. The first time I ever thought I have to change the disc in a DVD player. That's just weird.
Yeah. You
That
know
was a
what?
good movie though.
It was a good movie, but it's also done by Michael Bay. But I don't hardly remember. I only remember Josh Hartnett and Ben Affleck is in it.
Yeah, I remember it. I actually enjoyed
Who
that
was the
movie.
girl love interest?
It was it's the
Yeah,
girl that plays the
exactly.
vampire.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, it's Kate
Oh,
Beckinsale.
that's
That's
what
her
I
name.
thought
Well,
too.
here's also this funny thing is also was be Ben Affleck's ex-wife was in that too.
Which one?
Well, his first ex-wife, I should have said. I forgot he's got two now. The girl from Alias.
uh, Garner? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garner,
Garner.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Garner. Yeah. Well, I should have just said this. Electra's in this movie.
Yeah, Electra. Yep.
Which is funny because she's in this movie, but they didn't get married. Then when he does Daredevil, they get married.
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't have it share any scenes, even though it looks like they do in this movie, but they probably didn't really.
Uh, okay.
There's a lot of actually in that movie. There was a lot of act because you got to think in a lot of movies when Michael Bay was making movies big, he picked a lot of good actors, and then eventually they became good actors.
That is true.
Yeah, because there are a lot of those people. Because if we looked at any Michael Bay movie, we go, "Oh, we know all these guys," but they weren't famous at the time we watched them.
You're right. The first time like Will Smith was in a big movie was in Bad Boys. I mean, he was in
Yeah.
Made in America with Whoopi
Oh,
Goldberg and
he's in a
Ted
lot of little
Danson.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bad
but
Boys
Bad
made him.
Boys, yeah, made him
And then from then on, he was in everything. I mean, the biggest one he was in was Wild Wild West.
not Independence Day. Wait, which one came out first? Independence Day. Okay,
Independence Day came out way before
Wild
before
Wild West,
that.
man.
But he was already big by the time he got in Men in Black. Because remember, Men in Black
Yeah,
came
Men in
out for
Black.
Wild Wild West. A lot of stuff. Wild West was was kind of the
Men in Black
misstep.
came out before Wild Wild West. Man, I don't
Yeah, that's the
remember.
only reason. That's the only reason it got in there because it's directed by the same director. Barry,
Oh,
what
that's
was his
why
name?
Barry
Barry Simon.
Summerfield.
Yeah, Seinfeld. And then they thought, well, if Men in Black was such a big hit, this is going to be a big hit. Because remember, he
Yeah,
did a big old video for that one.
yeah,
Then
Wild
it
Wild
did.
West. Oh, I
And I
remember
mean,
now.
in Wild Wild West, I mean, we're making a joke on it. I'm making a joke on it because it didn't do good. I liked the movie. I didn't have a problem with the movie, but it wasn't. It's not a good movie. I can tell you it's kind of goofy, but I liked the movie still.
Yeah.
But most people you come across are not going to like the movie. If you show it to somebody, they're probably not going to like the movie. Even Will Smith said he didn't really like the movie, but I'm like, dude, chill.
Hey, he gave up doing the Matrix to do this movie.
Well, thank God he did.
Oh my gosh, that's right. So that it came out in 1999, Matrix.
I mean, The Matrix was good, but yeah, we know where it led to one of the
Yes.
biggest movies
Wow.
I ever slept through.
No, he probably made the right decision at that time anyway because he
Well,
had
I mean,
such
maybe
good working relationship with Men in
he could
Black,
have
you
done
know.
that, but the problem is with anybody, any actor we know, they've always passed up. There's a lot of good actors that passed up really good roles, but there's no guarantee that they would have been a bankable movie
That's
if
true.
they
Yeah.
made it. I
Yeah.
mean, Wild Wild West, it was awesome. It was good, but with another actor, it probably would have been better.
Oh,
Maybe because you don't know. You don't really know.
I don't even
Because
remember
it's
we
like
did
The
Wild Wild
Matrix.
West. I
The
want to say we
Matrix,
did.
The Matrix probably wouldn't have been good with another actor, Keanu Reeves. So that sometimes it's you don't know because a lot of people go, "Oh, I would have been good in this." How will you know?
You won't.
All because it's you got the combination just happened to be right. Because with an actor comes a director, or sometimes with a director comes a certain actor.
Yeah.
They usually come as groups. You usually don't get this good actor, and then we're gonna keep the same director. No, you're usually gonna change something.
Well, this actually applies to this because, like, we saw Simon Pegg the way that he was in Shaun of the Dead, right? And I was watching Simon Pegg, the GQ thing that talk about
Yeah,
his roles. He was actually saying, like, Shaun of that was easy for me because that movie I was basically being myself. But when
yeah,
he talked about Hot Fuzz, it was quite a challenge because he didn't know how to be a police officer, right? He actually had to do a lot of research and everything. But
yeah,
then when he talked about The World's End, that's his favorite character up to date 6 years ago. Like Gary King was his favorite
Oh, really?
guy to play in all the roles he's been in at that point.
It's probably the easiest.
I won't say easiest because
Or you
he
just
probably
sit there
never
and
been
have
a
fun.
character like that before.
Oh, okay.
You know, like Shaun of the Dead, he's just mostly lazy, right? But like to be a guy like the leader of the pack is different.
Yeah, well, it seemed like it would have been an easy role for him. Yeah, the cop one I would say was a stretch
Yeah, it
because,
was a
but
stretch,
I
man.
thought, man, this guy could have been an action movie guy.
Yeah,
Would have questioned it.
yeah, he's so good, Simon Pegg. Like that's why like his acting is probably really good because the way that he talked in real life, right, is really totally different even from Shaun of the Dead. When he
Yeah, it
was
was
talking in the
completely
interview,
different, especially when they're showing the whole deal. I was thinking, wow, this is actually this
let
is
me
a
tell you
different
something.
different role for him.
Did you like his Scottish accent when he plays Scotty, Montgomery Scott? But then we're
Hmm.
not Scottish, so I don't know.
Kind of mixed feelings on it.
Oh, okay. Because I'm not familiar with the Scottish, people. So,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it wasn't
but
like
then I think
I
when you
mean,
watch him talk regularly, and then now you watch Star Trek, right? Like, okay, he actually did a pretty good job. Because even in this movie, he doesn't really talk like this in Hot Fuzz as his normal voice. I mean, it's still
yeah,
a British accent, but this is it's really serious when he's being to speak on this thing.
yeah.
Because they show clips like, oh, when he was
But you
interviewing
gotta,
talking about
but you gotta
Scotty, like,
think though,
yeah,
when he does Scotty though, he has to do an he has to do a Scottish accent.
yeah, and which is funny because his wife
But
is
he's acting,
Scottish.
yeah, but he's acting to do a Scottish accent.
Yeah, Scottish. You're from the future.
I
Do they
mean,
still have sandwiches there? I always remember that from the first Star Trek because that's not a question I asked from somebody from the future. Do they still have sandwiches there?
well, if you're hungry, you probably would.
But then that was the. But then at that point, I didn't know anything about Star Trek. I'm like, is the Scotty likes to eat? Is that why he's asking that question? Like, I don't
No,
know.
no. Scotty likes to drink.
Oh, okay. It's like,
They never
I,
showed Scotty like to eat.
I don't, I don't understand this question. You're from the future.
But again, Scotty, the actor who played Scotty, wasn't Scottish either. He was
Oh, he
Canadian.
wasn't. Oh, he was even. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, he did voices. He did a lot of cartoon voices. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
James Doohan. He did a lot of voices. He was Canadian. Yeah, he was Canadian.
Oh, okay. I mean, you would know. Was
Yeah.
was Kirk Canadian? William Shatner's not
Yes.
Canadian, is he? Yeah, he
William
was. I
Shatner is
remember. Yeah, yeah.
Canada. I gotta tell my mom. The most famous Americans are all Canadian.
All the famous Americans are Canadian.
Yeah, so the most famous
that's
Americans are
that's
Canadian.
kind of like Bill Murray, Jim Carrey,
Yeah, see, I told you.
Mike Myers,
A lot of the most famous Americans are Canadian.
oh, Ryan Reynolds, Wolverine.
Well, he's Australian, but
No, I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking
Oh,
our actual
oh,
Wolverine.
oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I'm thinking, how would you ever like to action a superhero from? If somebody said, "How are you gonna like a superhero from Canada?" I'd be like, "No." And they go, "Wolverine." Oh, oh yeah, I keep forgetting he's
Yeah,
not
Wolverine's
American.
Canada. Yeah.
But I didn't. And again, then you see
I'm
Alpha
from
Flight, and you're
Canada.
like, whatever, Canada.
Canada. You keep my country's name out of your mouth.
I'd be like, that's not hard to do.
You know what I also like about this movie? They didn't do the too much of the cheesy one-liner thing. The only time he did the one-liner was like, playtime is over.
Well, I like it though. What he asked him. So when you did that,
Did the
did you give
freezer
him a
like
lot?
cool off?
He goes, no, I didn't, but I should have.
Yeah, it should have. But like, when I was finding him in the hotel, I did have to playtime
Yeah,
is
well, it's
over.
like James Bond. James Bond always has that quip. He always makes some kind of English dry quip.
Oh yeah,
You're supposed
yeah,
to,
it does.
but they're
That's the
funny if
way
they're
the cookie
good.
crumbles, man. I really
It's
like Timothy Dalton, man. Like, he is so good.
he is good. I like him too. He always to me. I think he really makes a very good villain.
He does.
You
Maybe
know.
it's just the looks that he have, right? I really
Well, he
like when he
didn't.
was in the
Well, he does.
supermarket,
Yeah,
like
I
when
mean, he
he's
grew the
sitting in his
mustache and
chair,
everything.
like his pose and his mouth matches the picture right next to him.
Yeah,
And then like Edgar Wright wanted to put like a picture of him, right? And his face, bad guy, but they didn't want to do that because the tone of the movie is a comedy, right? But it's not like a heavy comedy. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, it's just a comedy. It's just an easygoing comedy.
Yeah, but then the cop, like the mystery, the detective work was really good.
Oh yeah,
They
it's
did
just a
such a
good.
great mixed blend of this movie.
Yeah, they did a good cop movie mixed with pretty much a pretty good thing because it reminded me of a lot of like the Village of the Damned and all that.
Village of the Dam, yeah.
And then some of it does kind of remind me of a Hammer film. At the point when he gets to when he gets to the castle, it reminds me of kind of like a Hammer film in a way.
And you know what's the one thing that this Cornetto Trilogy have in common? They're just in small towns, so they could keep the budget low and not have it in like a big city.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it started in London, but they put him in the west, whatever this town is. I
Oh,
did
this is a
like
fictional town.
yeah, I did like I did like in the beginning when like, well, you said you always wanted to go to the country. Like, yeah, in 20 years, and I don't remember telling you that. Like, no, you did. Like, oh, I'd like to settle down in the country, Janine. I thought that was very funny. Like, is he reading his diary? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, in the beginning, there was a lot of the comedic tone. But as soon
Yeah.
as he go into the town, right, and that's when the mystery starts to happen. One of the things I really love, you thought the murder was because of the real estate thing.
Well,
That
yeah.
was one of the
First, yeah.
best
Well, the thing
things.
you don't really know what it is, but then you start to think it because Skinner's always mad at this person or he's mad at that person,
Yep.
and you're thinking, all right, Skinner's the deal. But the problem is, I'm thinking, there's got to be somebody else.
How tall is Timothy Dalton? He looks so much taller than all the actors, unless everybody else is just short. Because he got to be tall to play James Bond, right?
I guess you don't have to be.
I guess you don't have to be. I'm looking at him, but he's like
I mean,
6'4" or something.
I mean,
Oh, he's
all you have to
6'2".
do,
He's pretty tall.
yeah, he's pretty tall. He's pretty tall right there.
Yeah. Who is the tallest? Like, because Daniel Craig is like 6'1", right?
I don't
Pierce
know.
Bronson is 6'1". Oh, Sean Connery is 6'2".
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you got to be tall to be Johnny Depp.
Oh, Daniel Craig is the shortest at. See, I don't like it when they do 1.78, so 1.78 meters. 5'10". He's my height.
Okay, I'm taller than him.
Yeah, you are. Oh,
But see,
Daniel
that's the
Craig
thing.
is
You
the
don't got to.
shortest.
You don't got to be the tallest James Bond.
No, so I forgot which one I was talking to. I was talking to this older lady about film, right? And
Because
she
if you
was,
think about it, he was the most different of all the James Bonds too. Because most of the James Bond all looked the same. See, Roger Moore. How tall was Roger Moore?
Roger Moore.
He wasn't that tall, was he?
It doesn't show me
Oh,
how
okay.
tall Roger Moore is. I'm gonna find out though. But
Oh
like
yeah, I don't
he
think
was
he
the
was
only
that.
Daniel Craig was the only blonde James Bond, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, about time. There was a blonde hero.
Why? Because you're blonde.
Yeah, I have no role models.
Holy crap! Hold on, no, hold on. This is the basketball player. I'm looking for Roger
Oh,
Moore height.
how dare somebody else take Roger Moore's name?
Roger Moore. Which Bond actor is the tallest? Can you just tell me how tall is Roger Moore? Yo, yeah, totally remember watching more James Bond. Oh, 6-1.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, but Craig was the most different of all of them.
Yeah, but then you can never tell. I think one of the things, like, when you think people are taller in the movies, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I was going by my
Well, they always
story.
have them stand on. Yeah, they always
Not only
stand on
stand on the
something.
box, but like I was talking about the lady, like Clint Eastwood is tall. I forgot what's that guy they had the show Hollywood on Netflix, right? Rocky something. He was like gay, but then no one knew he was gay back in the day because something to frown upon, I guess, back in the day, right? He was a big guy too. A lot of the
Ooh,
guys back then in the 60s or 70s in
Rocky?
westerns, like not Rocky Balboa.
Oh, Rock. Oh, Rock Hudson.
Well, Hudson, yes, thank you so much,
Okay.
because he was a tall,
Yeah.
big guy too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why like, a lot of people, because we came from an era like those old movies. People are really like the male actors are
Yeah.
really
Well,
tall.
that's the thing, though. I don't know where you really have to have tall people because, like I say, it's a movie. Nothing is
Yeah,
real, anyways. It depends on if you have them stand and where you put the camera, you can make anybody tall.
yeah, that's true too.
I mean, you got to think Tom Cruise looks, and Rocky and Tom Cruise both look like Sylvester Stallone, both look like they're taller than a lot of people, but they're not.
They're not. I'm taller than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, and that's the thing. It's just what you want the character to be.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone's 5'10".
Oh,
Holy
okay. So
crap!
he's not
Dolph
a
Lundgren is 6'5".
wow.
Yeah,
I guess that's why we think Rocky's short.
Rocky is short. The Rocky's at 5'10" and Dolph Lundgren is 6'5". It's like a
But
Mike
I'm saying
Tyson fight.
though,
Yeah.
but 5'10's not really that short.
No, it's not. It's taller than average height of the
But I
UFC
mean, if you
anyway.
pull somebody in that's like five, is six something, like
Yo,
six,
six
seven,
five. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Like, yo,
that's
now he
gonna
looks
be like
short.
what? No.
I'm standing next to Dolph Lundgren, 6'5". Like, man. Yep.
Yeah, I will break you.
Let me see what other notes I have. They did a lot of action stuff that in this movie.
Oh, there was
The
a lot of
two
action
guns
in this.
thing.
Oh, there's just it was they did have some pretty graphic looking stuff, especially with
You
those
know
people
what
getting
they
arrested.
did? Like,
They cut
yeah,
their heads off and stuff down the road. I was like, look at that. That's
cut off the
crazy.
yeah, and then like the stabbing of the shears with that lady.
Yeah, that's actually that's kind of PG. But yeah, having some heads cut off just
But
laying
then
out the
that
road, I thought, oh,
the
that's a
top of that castle falling onto Tim Messenger,
oh, that
that
was
was
pretty
pretty
yeah, that's
graphic.
pretty graphic too. That was pretty good.
But that reminds me, because like this is the England movie, right? And I remember, like, when I was in Hong Kong, like graphic things like that, and not really considered rated R to where I come from. Language is rated R from where I come from.
I
Bad
think
words.
language is kind of a big deal here too.
Yeah, but then like violence is considered rated R. Like if I look back to Die Hard now, like you could probably slide for PG-13 from nowadays, but back then it was rated R.
Yeah.
I think it's just because. See, I don't know if England, like what kind of rating system England has, but this one is, just rated R
Yeah,
in U.S.
well, I think
standards.
everywhere else, graphic violence is a no to most
To most,
people.
at least,
Yeah,
to
in
America.
America, we're like, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did write one of these things, right? Like someone noticed, like who was it? I think it's one of the Andes when he talked about like the swan can whip a guy's arm off. And then at the end, remember the swan was in a police car, and then like Inspector Butterman was driving a car with a swan in it, and then the next scene you seen him, right, his arm is in a cast. You would think
yeah.
that it's probably from the thing, but I think
I
they say from
guess.
the swan,
Yeah, I
the
don't
swan
know.
attack.
Yeah, I didn't really remember that part. I know they said that, but I was like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but I think it's because he crashed into the tree because there was a swan
That
in the
would,
police car.
yeah, if you crash in a tree, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I did like that. I thought Timothy Dalton was gonna die when his thing got
Oh, I thought he was
stabbed
too.
like that, but
I thought
then
he was dead, but then he was like, oh no,
but
this
then it's away
hurts.
from the neck, right? It's not major arteries in there, but then that's why it's funny. Like that's why nobody died except maybe for the end. Was it
Well,
the
that dude that got
doctor?
blown up. I'm sure that
Yeah,
no,
he's
the
the
doctor. That
only
was the doctor.
casualty.
That was the watch guy.
The
The
watch guy,
neighborhood
yeah,
watch guy that watched the cameras.
you're
He's
a
the one that got blown
doctor.
up.
Deal with it.
Yeah, the doctor didn't. Remember, the doctor got shot with the BB gun. Then he got shot with a shotgun.
Yeah. God, this movie is so great. No casualties for the NWA. I did like you do understand the NWA reference, like F the police.
Oh, as soon as I saw it, yeah, as soon as I saw it, it's like, what? Why would you call it the NWA? It took me a while to figure out what it was. I forgot what it stands for in the
You know what
movie.
I also like in this movie that it connected really well when Angel connected the multiple killers, and that's when they wanted him dead, when he figured it out.
Yeah.
Even when he messed up about the real estate thing, like, oh, he's not gonna figure it out. They didn't want to kill him then. It's after he figures it out. That was really good. Multiple killers. You just
Yeah,
didn't
well,
know who.
eventually they figure out it's got a little
Yeah. Pop.
when he tells the police chief, yeah.
Yeah, when he tells the police chief, whew, Inspector. All right. Well, until then, do you want anything from the shop?
I don't know. Sure.
We're out. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.